Hey, welcome back to Coach Jay. And today we're continuing with our teaching, or I guess our podcast, with managing competition pressure. This is directly to the athlete and the parent. I want to make sure that we get a clear understanding of what's really going on. We know that majority of us are focused in whatever activity that our kids are in. If it's from cricket to basketball to any sports in between. We want to talk today about supporting your youth, your young athlete. That's right, your young athlete. We want to create a parental guide to navigate challenges. That's right, I forgot. I'm Coach Jay. I just want to make sure y'all understand. I'm Coach Jay. And today we're starting on this episode about diving deep in managing competition pressure. Last time we talked about academia and sports. Now we're talking about competition pressure. And it's such a key thing that we need to get under control, because I think we miss out on this so much because we get caught up on the end result of the game, the win or the loss, but we don't look at the in-between. So today I want to talk about a couple effective techniques, and one of them is mindfulness. Encourage your child to practice mindfulness. A relaxing technique becomes before competition. What does that mean? That means that they sit back and they evaluate or have a time to assess what they're about to embark on. They begin to play the game inside of their mind, and then they find a way to calm themselves down. You see this more often when you look at the NBA players or NFL players or any professional player before they play the game during their practice or warm up. They put their headphones on, or you see them sitting up in the corner. They're just meditating, doing certain drills. They're getting their mind ready to relax for the demand that's going to be placed upon them shortly. Excuse me. They begin to look at the game from another perspective, while bringing peace and relaxation to their body, bringing themselves down. Hey, relax. Let's take it easy. Let's go through this. A simple practice by keeping deep breaths. Just visualizing and even shorter meditation sessions can help them to stay calm and focused. A lot of times when kids are about to play a game or a sport, they get really hyper, they get really engaged, they get fired up. And that's good for motivation when you're talking about the impact of getting out there, getting their mind in the game. But sometimes they go overboard with that and they begin to burn themselves out, where they become exhausted. So what I'm teaching you today is to teach your son or daughter to be able to have that moment to separate from everybody else and have a moment of deep breaths. If you see that they're getting a little out of hand, tell them come, sit down for a minute, take one deep breath, take another deep breath, and then yet another deep breath. And that deep breath should be a part where they're trying to fill the entire lungs with air and slowly let it go by a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. If you can get to do that, what happens is they're thinking more on the actual breathing exercise than they're thinking about anything else, because they're trying to wait when they get all the air in, and then how long it's going to take to let out. That's a good focal point. It teaches them to relax, and they're taking their mind off in demand of the game. And as they get that air out, now they can begin to go back through their strategies for the upcoming game that they'll be playing. The next thing is positive reinforcement. This is also critical too. Focus on these efforts of improving rather than the outcome. Celebrate the dedication, hard work, and process, no matter what the results are. Many times as I said before in the previous, we're so focused on the end result, the win versus the loss, instead of watching performance. Hey, you did a great job. Yeah, we didn't win, you did this. Or you need to focus. I recommend that you focus on this. I want to change your way of conversing with your kid. When they're not having that stellar game that you see or you expect them to have, change the way that you speak when giving them instructions. You need already starts with a negative connotation, right? You need. Go ahead. Hey, I recommend that we focus this week on this. It's a recommendation. Like you're giving the choice back to the child. You're given the choice to participate in the lineup or the guidelines that you're making for them. That in itself is positive reinforcement, because it's not like they're demanding. You're not demanding them to do it. You're saying, I'm suggesting that you're doing. And because you've been there and because you've been with their practice, they're going to listen to you. And you know your child. But when you begin to change some of your direct approach conversation with them to a more eased in, where you make them feel like they have a choice, they'll be prompt to jump in and go with your instructions or what you're saying. Hey, they had a bad game. They couldn't make a shot. It's a basketball game. They were missing all the layups and all this. And to end up, the game lost. Not because they missed the layups. It's a performance. It just didn't add up that day. Instead of you sitting up there saying, hey, you missed a lot of layups. You need to work on this. You need to work on that. Take a break and look back. This is where one movement comes in. Because one movement just don't see that he's missing the layups. We back a couple of hours, a couple of days, and we asked, hey, what was going through your mind when you shot that layup? I don't remember. I just put it up, whatever. Yes, sometimes we get in the motion of things and we lose the focus. We lose the fundamental. We didn't place our feet right. We came off on the wrong way. Maybe we were too aggressive, too far under it. What would we say to him? One move would say, take a step back and let's look over this. Let's go back to the exercise, your practice time. How do you go by laying that up on the wall? How did you sit here and follow through in your mind? These are the things that, as a parent, you may not be focused on, but we will. But what you can focus on is that positive reinforcement that says, you know what? I suggest that we practice layups this week because your layups wasn't too well yesterday. Maybe you're going too far in. Maybe you're doing thinking, or maybe you had some things on your mind. Is everything okay? Listen, you played a great game. Why did they play a great game? Regardless of what the results is, they got out and played the sport. They got engaged. Regardless what the end, they win or lost, we celebrate the fact that you had enough nerve to get out there and give your best. Even today, the results may not have been the way that we wanted them, but the results is that you got out and do, and we celebrate you for that. We got to celebrate dedication, hard work, and progress, no matter what the results is. This helps build a growth mindset and reduce the fear of failure. Remember, everybody based on a win or loss situation, and they say, oh, we failed because we didn't win. You did great because we did win. We got to stop that cut and dry action. If we're looking at individual versus team performance, we have to look at our athlete and say, okay, what could we done different in your contribution to the game? What did you see were some of the areas that you felt need a little more practice? Not where you failed at. What you feel needs to be tuned in. That's where we need to be at. That's how we need to have a conversation with them. And then maintain a balance and perspective is essential. Helping your child understand while sports are important, they're not everything. That's right, it's not everything. I want to make sure you understand it is not everything. Because if you start having a kid to believe that if sports are nothing, then that limits them. Everything is all in or else. What if something happens where they can't be the superstar that you envision or they envision for themselves? What is their fallback? You have to teach them that no matter if you're successful or not, you have to be mentally sound to deal with whatever life throws at you. Sports is not everything. It's a great thing, but it's not everything. And you don't want them to limit themselves to say, you know what, if I don't perform or I don't get this, I don't get that, then I'm a failure. You're never a failure. You got to encourage your kid that it's never a point to look down on yourself because you didn't achieve the objectives of others. Getting out there playing, getting out there engaging with others, getting out there building a team concept, getting out there and being a part of a movement is achievement enough. That is excellent. But you have to be able to look at him and say, or her, and say this, that we need to have other options as well. I want you to do well in school. I want you to do well in your jobs. I want you to do well in this. But if sports is your ticket to a better plan for your future, great. But if it doesn't line up the way that you see it, we have to be able to still live and maintain. So in summary, Excuse me. Managing competition pressure involves mindfulness techniques, positive reinforcement, and maintain a balanced perspective. In implementing these strategies, you can help your child handle the stress and enjoy the sports journey. Excuse me. When at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. That they enjoy the journey of sports and that you enjoy it with them. I just want to say I appreciate you getting on today. Please share this with others. Go back to the previous videos and see if you find something there on one of the strategies and techniques to help you deal with how you juggle your day-to-day activities, and then how to reinforce encouraging your kids to keep pressing on. Now, if you happen to be a person that struggle in some of these areas, or you feel that your child is not performing to the level that you expect him to do, please reach out to One Movement LLC, where we'll be grateful to talk to you and your child about strategies and procedures that could help you and help him or her to get to that level of performance that they are expecting. Keep in mind that we don't guarantee that they're the next superstar, the Michael Jordan or LeBron or any other professional player, but what we do is we allow them to see the love of the sport and teach them techniques that will help them to have a balance, and then look at some of the exercise and techniques and the performance to try to pinpoint some of the things that we can work on to try to get their mind and their body in tune to have a better performance than what they did before. Again, if you have any interest in this, I'm giving out a free consultation. If you visit the webpage, just click on free consultation and we can set up a meeting to talk about how we can help you and the athlete to become a better a student, better performer, and most of all, to find a place where they can relax and enjoy the journey. I'm Coach Jay, and I'm out of here. Take care.